You know what terrifies older adults more than almost anything else? Falling. And I get it. A fall can change everything in an instant. But here's what most people don't realize. The fall itself often isn't the biggest problem. It's what happens in those first few minutes afterward that can make all the difference between a quick recovery and a serious complication. I'm Dr. Sarah Wilson, and today I want to walk you through exactly what to do in those critical moments after a fall. Whether you're living independently, you're caring for someone, or you just want to be prepared, these 5 steps can literally save your life or the life of someone you love. This isn't complicated medical jargon. This is practical, evidence-based action that anyone can learn and use when seconds matter most. Let me start by telling you about Margaret. She's 79, lives alone, sharp as a tack, incredibly independent. One Tuesday morning, she slipped on her kitchen floor reaching for a coffee mug. Nothing dramatic, just a quick loss of balance. She hit the ground and immediately panicked. Her heart was racing, her breathing got shallow and fast, and she tried to scramble up as quickly as possible because she was embarrassed and scared. In her rush, she twisted her ankle badly, hit her head on the cabinet, and ended up in the emergency room with a concussion and a fracture that could have been avoided. Now, let me tell you about Robert. He's 82, also lives independently with some support from his daughter who checks in daily. He fell in his bathroom getting out of the shower, but Robert had learned what I'm about to teach you. He stayed calm, he breathed, he took his time, and he got himself up safely without any injury beyond a small bruise on his hip. The difference between Margaret and Robert wasn't luck. It was knowing what to do. So let's talk about what actually happens to your body when you fall. The moment you hit the ground, your nervous system can go into what we call tonic immobility. It's an ancient survival response. Your muscles tense up, your blood flow changes, your brain kind of freezes. This is normal. This is your body trying to protect you. But if you don't know how to work with it, it can actually make things worse. Your autonomic nervous system, the part that controls things you don't think about, like heart rate and blood pressure, goes into overdrive. Blood can pool in certain areas. Coordination gets disrupted. And if you try to move too fast or stand up too quickly, you risk another fall, a head injury, or worse. So the very first thing you need to do is not move. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. Step 1 is breathing. As soon as you realize you've fallen, before you do anything else, focus on your breath. Slow, deliberate, diaphragmatic breathing. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 2, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count that's even longer, maybe 3 or 4. Do this several times. This is not woo-woo relaxation stuff. This is neuroscience. Controlled breathing restarts communication between your brain and your muscles. It regulates your heart rate. It brings oxygen to the places that need it most. It literally reboots your nervous system. I had a patient named Henry, 76 years old, who told me that after he fell in his garage, the only thing he could remember from our conversation was, breathe first, move second. He said it probably saved him from a panic attack and helped him think clearly enough to assess himself properly. Step 2 is the stillness check. After you've taken those first few calming breaths, stay still for about 90 seconds. I know that feels like forever when you're on the ground, but this is critical. During this time, you're doing a mental body scan. Start with your head. Are you conscious? Can you remember what happened? Do you know where you are and what day it is? These are signs of whether you might have a head injury. Then move your attention down. Wiggle your fingers. Can you feel them? Do they respond? Wiggle your toes. Any sharp shooting pain anywhere? Pain is information. Dull aches are usually okay. That's just impact and bruising. Sharp, intense pain, especially in your head, neck, back, or a limb, is a red flag. That means you need to call for help before you try to move. If everything checks out, you're alert, you can move your fingers and toes, there's no severe pain, then you move to step 3, which is micro movements. This is where you start gently reactivating your body. Slowly move your wrists. circle your ankles, bend your knees just a little. These small movements help regulate your blood pressure and reestablish your proprioception, which is your body's sense of where it is in space. Think of it like waking up a computer that's been in sleep mode. You don't just slam on the power button and expect everything to run smoothly. You let it boot up step by step. Your body is the same way after a fall. These micro movements are you telling your nervous system, okay, we're safe, we're okay, let's get everything back online. Now we get to step 4, which is the roll and rise technique. This is the safest way to get up off the ground without risking another fall or injury. First, you roll onto your side, whichever side feels more comfortable. Take your time. Once you're on your side, push yourself up onto your hands and knees. Yes, you're going to crawl. There is zero shame in this. Crawling is stable. Crawling is safe. From hands and knees, crawl slowly towards something sturdy, a chair, a couch, a bed, a wall. Once you get there, bring one foot forward so you're in a half-kneeling position, like you're proposing. Put your hands on that stable surface. Now, this is important. Before you stand, look toward the horizon. Don't look down at your feet. Looking forward helps your balance system orient correctly. Then, using your legs and that stable surface for support, push yourself up slowly to standing. Once you're up, do not start walking right away. Stand there. Hold on to something. Take a few more deep breaths. Let your blood pressure stabilize. Let your vision settle. This whole process from the ground to standing might take 3 to 5 minutes, and that is perfectly fine. Step 5 is the post-fall recovery window, and this is the 10 to 15 minutes after you've gotten up. This is where a lot of people make mistakes because they think, okay, I'm up, I'm fine, let's just move on. Not so fast. Sit down in a chair. Check your pulse. Is your heart racing? Are you dizzy? Are you nauseous? These are signs that your body is still in shock and you might need medical attention. Get yourself some water. Sip it slowly. Dehydration makes everything worse, and a lot of falls happen because people are already a little dehydrated. If you're cold, get a blanket. Your body needs warmth to restore circulation properly. Talk to yourself out loud or call someone. Say your name, the day of the week, what you were doing before you fell. This verbal grounding helps reduce confusion and keeps your brain engaged. This is the time to decide whether you need to call for help. If you hit your head, if you have severe pain anywhere, if you're bleeding, if you feel extremely confused or dizzy, call someone. Call 911, call a family member, call a neighbor. There is no prize for toughing it out. But if you're feeling okay, a little shaken, maybe some soreness, but generally stable, then you can move forward with monitoring yourself for the next few hours. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 73, fell in her living room tripping over her cat. She did everything I just described. Breathed, stayed still, did her body scan, micro movements, rolled and rose carefully, sat down and hydrated. She called her son just to let him know what happened, and she was completely fine. No injuries, no emergency room, just a story to tell and a reminder to watch where the cat sleeps. Now here's the part that a lot of people don't talk about, but is absolutely critical: what you do in the days and weeks after a fall. Because the fear of falling again can become its own prison. I've seen people who had one minor fall and then barely left their house for months because they were terrified it would happen again. That fear leads to less movement, which leads to weaker muscles and worse balance, which actually increases fall risk. It's a vicious cycle. So part of recovery is rebuilding confidence, and confidence is a skill. You retrain it through repetition, through small, safe practices that prove to your brain and body that you are capable and stable. I teach 3 gentle exercises that anyone can do daily to maintain and improve balance. First is the wall glide. Stand facing a wall with your hands lightly touching it for support. Slowly slide 1 foot backward, then bring it back. Alternate legs. Do this 10 times on each side. It's simple, but it retrains weight shifting and balance. Second is the chair reach. Sit in a sturdy chair. Slowly reach one arm up and slightly to the side, then bring it back down. Alternate arms. This works your core stability and upper body coordination. 10 reaches on each side. Third is the ankle roll. Sitting or standing with support, lift one foot slightly off the ground and rotate your ankle in slow circles. 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other way, then switch feet. This strengthens the small stabilizing muscles in your lower legs that are crucial for balance. Pair these physical exercises with mental anchoring. Before you do them, say out loud, "My body is stable, my breath is calm, I am safe." It sounds simple, maybe even silly, but the research backs this up. The combination of physical practice and positive self-talk rewires your brain's fear response and builds genuine confidence. There's solid clinical research supporting all of this. Studies published in the Journal of Geriatric Emergency Medicine and the Journal of the American Geriatric Society show that people who follow these kinds of structured post-fall protocols have significantly fewer secondary injuries and better long-term balance outcomes. Research out of Kyoto University and Harvard confirms that controlled breathing and gradual mobilization reduce the risk of orthostatic hypotension, that's the dizziness you get from standing up too fast, and prevent shock responses that can lead to more falls. The takeaway here is that these aren't just nice ideas. They're proven, practical tools that work in the real world with real people. Here's the thing I want you to understand. Aging does not erase resilience. Your body is still capable of protecting itself, healing itself, and adapting. But you have to work with it, not against it. The rhythm I just walked you through, breath, stillness, micro-movement, careful rising, mindful recovery, that rhythm transforms fear into controlled action. It turns a crisis into a moment where you prove to yourself that you can handle what life throws at you. Confidence isn't something you're born with, and it's not something you lose forever just because you fell. It's something you build day by day, breath by breath, one careful movement at a time. You rehearse it, you practice it, and when the moment comes, your body remembers. So if you're someone who's fallen before and you're scared it'll happen again, I want you to practice this sequence. Not after a fall, before. Go through the breathing. Sit on the floor on purpose and practice the roll and rise technique. Do the balance exercises. Build the muscle memory so that if it happens, your body knows what to do without you having to think about it. And if you're caring for someone older, teach them this. Walk through it together. Practice it like a fire drill. Because the people who do best after a fall are the ones who've thought about it ahead of time, who have a plan, who don't panic because they know exactly what to do. Independence isn't about never falling. It's about knowing you can get back up. It's about having the skills and the confidence to handle the unexpected. It's about taking control of the things you can control and not letting fear run your life. One breath before you stand. One mindful weight shift before you walk. One day at a time, you grow your autonomy and your strength. That's the journey. That's how you maintain not just your safety, but your sense of agency and freedom. Falls are going to happen. That's just part of being human, and it becomes more common as we age. But how you respond, how you recover, and how you rebuild, that's entirely up to you. And now you have the tools to do it right. I'm Dr. Sarah Wilson. See you in the next video.